Creating a personal Discord server for productivity has honestly changed my life. After trying so many different apps and physical accessories, I didn't really expect it, but the Discord server is what I stuck to for over 2 years now, and I've never taken more notes or been more productive. Anyways, today I'm going to show you how to create a very basic one that you can adapt to your hobbies and your activities and all that, and it will go over a couple of Discord features, integrated features that can be useful, as well as a couple of bots. Let's get started. Now, please do keep in mind it's difficult to make a one-size-fits-all because we live different lives and we have different interests. So make sure you adapt it to your life. I can go on for hours with disclaimers and all that, but the one thing you need to know is that never treat Discord as if it was safe. In the sense of personal information, we're gonna have channels just to copy-paste stuff. Do not copy-paste like bank information or anything like that. Never trust Discord, basically. It's okay if you put your shopping list in your personal server. It's not okay if you put your passwords. It's not okay if you put your address. Just be smart with that, okay? All right, we're starting from scratch. We're gonna go at the bottom of our server list and we're gonna click Add Server. This will give us a pop-up. Honestly, I've never used those. I always do create my own. In this case, it's not for a club or a community. It's for me and my friends. Because yes, you can eventually invite people, but that's up to you. Productivity 1. Optional, but I'll upload a picture. Yo, my meme folder is such a mess. Let's go with that one. Click create, and boom, you have a fresh server with pretty much nothing. Now, the cool thing here, if it's personal, you don't have to worry about permissions and roles and all that stuff. Everything you need is probably going to be done right here. So I don't know if you know, but you can create categories to put channels in. For example, we have text channels category and voice channels category. Since this category is already made, we're going to edit it. Right click, edit category. We're then going to change the name. And I like to call this one, this is where you're going to basically take basic notes like grocery list or whatever. If you press Windows plus period, you can get your emoji list. And then from there, you can choose a couple of ones. I like to click on a bunch. And then based on what it looks like on the channel, I'll choose. I like the red one just because it's more visually striking. And at the bottom, save changes. I can't speak today. All right, let's keep going. I'm going to right click here. I'm going to click create category. And for the name, we're going to go with media. I'm someone who consumes a lot of media. I watch a lot of movies, listen to music and all that. So when there's recommendations and things like that, and I don't want to forget, that's where I go. Same thing, Windows period, put a space in between. Okay, so in media, you can put video games, basically all entertainment. Right click, let's create a new category. And this is where you want to put your main activity. Whatever you do, it doesn't have to be work. But in my case, I'm a full-time content creator. So content is what it's going to be about. And boom, that's content. Now don't worry about voice channels being up top. You can drag and drop and keep making categories. Now in my actual server, I have 2 categories for content. I have long form and short form. But I'm going to keep it in one place here so that you can replace it if you don't make content. And if you do make content, it's actually a better way to have a separate text channel for short form. Let's create a category. And then here, of course, you can put some sort of hobby. In my case, I'm going to put DIY. I've been working on a bunch of things here. And then this one and any other category, you can just put other hobbies that you practice. Now, if you plan on having other people, you can create more voice channels. For example, you'll be able to use some bots to help you like work on tasks if you're doing one of those productivity calls and things like that. But in our case, we're keeping it solo. And we're just going to populate those categories. At the very top, I like to have my copy paste because if I need to take notes on the go, I want to be fast with it. I don't want to be scrolling down and looking for the channel. So we're going to take that general channel, we're going to edit it, and we're going to change it to copy paste. If you want to be fancy, you can also put some emojis in there. We'll go with basic shapes. Let's go with this. And for the rest, we can just duplicate, right click, duplicate channel. We can immediately put the other name. I don't personally use a shopping list anymore because I order my groceries and the app actually does a bunch of stuff. So this is unnecessary, but I'll put it in there. Oh yeah, I probably should have told you, I will share the template, but please keep watching the video and learn how to do it yourself because I cannot guarantee that the template will be up forever, okay? So still learn. All right, once again, duplicate channel, name it. Next one is like a general to-do list, or as I like to call it, a next day to-do list. It's pretty much at night before you go to bed and you're like, I want to be productive tomorrow. What should I do? And you kind of come up with a list in your head. This is where I would put that. And of course, you can name all of that whatever you want. Duplicate channel, name that. So on my server, I have home improvement. And then there, I usually put inspiration for things that I want to change in my home, but also any projects that I currently have going on. If I need to remove and replace anything, repairs, etc. Just improvement, just home improvement. Next one I have is IRL events. I get a lot of ads on Instagram for things to do around my place. That way I can just copy paste the links in here and visit them later, or just take a screenshot and drop it in there and visit them later. And then finally in the list category, we had home improvement. This time we have body improvement. Workout, you can put health or fitness or whatever. In this one, I usually put workout videos that I find, meal plans, recipes, anything that has to do with health, honestly. It should be called health. Let's call it health. There you go. Okay, so this is what I have for the list category. Of course, if there's anything you feel that is necessary that you can just drop information in there, feel free to do so. But now we're going to go into media. I'm going to click on the plus right here. It will ask me if I want to create a text channel. I'll select text, of course. And if you're someone who gets recommended music and people send you links, or you find music and you want to save links and things like that, or just type the name of a band that you heard of, you can have that. I'm not going to lie, on my personal channel, I don't really use that because everything is done through YouTube or other music apps. So I'll skip this one and and go to movies. And we're actually going to make 2 channels for the movie part. So we're going to keep this one as movies TV, duplicate it. And if you're like me and you love to have a list different for yourself and things that you want to watch with friends, you can have a movies TV solo. Now I have a lot of content creator friends, so if they post something that I cannot watch on the spot, I like to copy the link and drop it here. But for yourself, if it's just like some different types of media like podcasts or things like that, you can put that. I used to have a podcast channel on my personal server, but I never used it because again, I'm using an app that basically does all the organizing for me. So we can call this one friends content. Next up, I used to have games in its own separate category, but I ended up not using most of the channels that I created. So we're gonna put games in here as a big general term. If we need to subcategorize it, we can always create threads. But hold on, we're not done with games yet. Another channel here will be free games. And that's because we're gonna be using a bot that tells us when games are free on Steam and on the Epic Store. Next category is content. So under content, we're going to create a channel. It'll be a text channel. And this is another one that I'm going to simplify from my own. This is basically where I write down all the ideas that I get for content. I have multiple channels, so I'll just write down ideas for each channel. So I'll have a channel for my live stream. Let's create that, duplicate it. We'll do a main channel. That's the one you're watching right now. And this is the perfect segue into a plug because I also have a movie channel where I talk about TV shows and movies and all that. Now, of course, this is going to be in a template. It probably doesn't apply to you. Again, feel free to just modify it, and whatever you do, use it for yourself. We're going to create a shorts channel. And honestly, for this one, I put both inspiration and ideas for shorts. Duplicated that, and when I randomly come across a tutorial or a quick tip video that is pretty important or that can help me in making content, I chuck it in my resources channel. Sometimes it's a free asset pack on Twitter or anything. All right, last one is for your little special interest, your hobby. So depending on your hobby, you can put things like gear. If you want to have a list of all the gear that you could buy, or your wish list pretty much. For me, it's DIY. So I'm going to put inspiration because I always come across like cool projects, whether it's just a picture of something or a video. Just for you guys, I'll put a gear channel. And for me, I would need a projects channel. And at this point, you're pretty much done. So if we go over it, you'll see your list. You have all of your media stuff and then the content. So whatever you do, your main activity is, this is where you'll put all your channels. And then you have your DIY. If you have a hobby or something like that, you can put that here. And it might be intimidating when you're looking at everything like that, but the truth is it's fairly simple. Only 4 categories. Some of them you will use way more often than others. Okay, so let's talk about a couple of tools that you can use to your advantage. If you go to any channel and you click on the plus here, you'll have the option to create a thread. We'll click on that. And what it does is that it opens this side window with a name for the thread. For example, this is DIY projects. Let's put a real project that I'm working on actually. Camera filter adapter. And here you need to put something. Usually I'll put a thumbnail because it'll help. Just click here and just Control V an image I found on Google. Now if I press enter, 2 things will appear. The thread will be open on this window, okay? But it will also appear in our text channel. So this is now a thread that you can just click on, and then inside of it, you'll have your actual project. And then the list, it's actually going to show up at the bottom here for a couple of days. What you can do is right click and go edit thread. And you can see it tells you that basically it's not going to show up in the list after 3 days. So if you're working on multiple projects, it's like an easy way to just see it when you open up your server. But if you haven't touched it in 3 days or more, you can set it to 1 week. Then it's still going to exist. It's still going to be there. It's just not going to show up in the list because it's not, actual. It's not recent. And this is how I handle projects basically. So inside of here, I can put everything that has to do with my camera filter adapter project. So it doesn't necessarily clutter a full text channel. Now, if I want it to be full screen, I can just click on it on here and there it is, as if it was its own channel pretty much. Now, if you have a ton of them and you don't necessarily want to go back and scroll up until you find this message, right there in Discord, you have the button to reveal all the threads. So it's just like if it was pinned. You'll always be able to find them, and then you can search them by name also. Something else I want to show you is a different type of channel. When you click create channel, there's something called forum. You can click on this, and usually this is, it's a forum. It's created so that multiple people can share different threads pretty much. But the thing is, it has a particular way of being displayed. I'm going to click create channel, and this is what it looks like. It gives you this thing. It's pretty much a channel with a bunch of threads, but you get like a big view of it. So if you want to sort it and make it a little bit better, let's get a second one in there, just like that, and post it. So there you go. So if your goal is to have all of your projects be visible visually like this, and then you can click on them, and then within them, you can, actually type all the steps to your project. I think that's a pretty visual, like a pretty cool visual way of making it happen. Now, as you can see on the left here, just like the threads, it shows up here, and you can also do edit post, and then you have the same options as a thread. Okay. It's pretty much exactly threads, but it's in a specific channel to visually represent that. Okay. What else do we use? Events. Now, events are absolutely great in Discord. You can set them up pretty easily. Just click create event. Where is it? Somewhere else. Click next. What's the topic? When is it taking place? Does it repeat? And then at the bottom, you even have a cover image option. You don't have to, it's optional. And there you go. You have an event that is starting in 41 minutes. So for someone like me, a content creator, sometimes I need to figure out when a movie is coming out and things like that. So I create events for that. If there are recurring events like conventions and all that, you can also set that up. When the event is about to start, you'll get a notification. And most importantly, your Discord will have, let me see if I have an example. Your Discord will have, just like this one right here, it'll have that little icon on it when an event is happening, is currently happening. Some extra options that Discord has that are pretty useful. If you're doing the threads for each project, being able to put a reaction emoji means that you can set your projects to done, for example, so that you're pretty much done with this. If you're currently working on them, you can put, hourglass. And if you're canceling them, you can put whatever you want. If you're using it for YouTube videos, for example, and your video happened to pop off, you can always set, hey, this one is an outlier. And of course, you can download and upload your own emotes into Discord, which makes it even better. Now, what else makes Discord very valuable is the ability to use bots. And bots can do a lot. For example, the event thing that we just saw, if you want to synchronize this with Google Calendar, for example, there's a bot called Chronicle Bot. All you have to do is invite it to your server and then log in, give the proper authorizations. And yeah, you just create your events in Google Calendar and they will be synced to Discord. So Discord will also create an event and all that, and you'll be reminded. I haven't used this personally. It could be cool if you want someone else's calendar to be synced to your Discord so you have the reminder. Because if I'm creating an event in Google Calendar, I don't need to be reminded. Google Calendar will do that already. But if I'm synchronized with a friend or with a coworker on some projects, and I don't want to have to open Google Calendar, then that's super useful. Another bot you could be using is Lionbot. And this one is really, really helpful, especially if you're studying and doing things like that. It's super productivity driven with timers and the whole Pomodoro technique. You can set up task lists and it gives you a bunch of stats on what you accomplish, which can be pretty nice. You can also have reminders in case you don't want to use like the Discord event thing. And they have a whole virtual pet system, which is pretty funny. It is more focused on having a productivity Discord with other people and making it fun or kind of like a gaming session. But yeah, overall, pretty well-rounded bot. If you go to a website like top.gg and you type productivity as a keyword, you will find a ton of bots that will help you out depending on what you want. You can even have a bot that reminds you to drink water. The options are pretty cool. One that I really love using is free stuff. It tells you games that are currently free to play or just free on Steam and also the Epic Store, and also, what was the other one called? Let me show you. I have it on my personal one. Look at that. So right now there's a bunch of free-to-play games, including Metal Gear Solid. On Steam, there are games that are completely free on the Epic Store, and I get a notification every single time. So inviting this bot to your server is super useful, in my opinion, if you're a gamer, of course. GOG.com is what I was looking for, so that too. Another bot I actually use is Voicescriber. Since I'm always taking notes, sometimes I have an idea that needs more than 3 words to write down the notes. So I'll just turn on my microphone and just speak into my phone to take the note on the appropriate channel on my Discord. And what happens with this bot is that it listens to your voice memo and then it transcribes it for you. So you have a text version of your voice note. If you want, you can delete the voice note after that. It's just a cool way to have it. And if you're wondering, well, I have the voice note, why would I want the text version? Well, voice notes, you can't like change the title or anything like that. You can't at a glance know what it's about, so you want the text. But also on top of that, when it comes to Discord, the idea of being able to search for stuff with text is very important. So you kind of want everything to be written down. Honestly, like there's so much that you can do with Discord with or without bots. You can see the notes that I've taken. Look at that. You can see me using Voicescriber here. As soon as you're done recording, it puts like a little ear emoji, and when it's done, it puts this one and then post the text right there. The only thing you need to know is that you need to really, really customize it and really make it your own. It's extremely difficult for me to make a tutorial that miraculously adapts to your life. But knowing the tools and especially like being on Discord pretty often, really taking advantage of all of them can be great. It got super late. I turned off the lights. If you're wondering if Discord is a better notes-taking app or planner or anything like that, more than something like Notion that was built and conceived for it, it's not. It's definitely not. The only thing is that if you are like me and you're already on Discord every single day and you get notification from your friends that make you open the app and look at it and you know you're going to look at it, then you're more likely to take notes in Discord because it'll be on all your devices and it will be open at all times. But yes, Notion is way better, and there's probably a bunch of other apps that are way better, that are designed to get you to organize your life. I personally tried a bunch of apps, a bunch of different settings, and try to sync them together between all my devices and even paid for some, and nothing stuck for me. Nothing stuck for me. It's not that those apps are bad or anything like that. It's just that I just stop opening them after a while and then I forget about everything. I don't know. In my brain, it's like a hassle to go and open this thing because that's the only thing I use it for. With Discord, I know no matter what happens, it'll be open. It'll be there. It'll be accessible. It'll be very simple to use. There's no learning curve because I already use it. It's not intimidating. And if I ever want to share even parts of this Discord with someone, I can just send them an invite. I can set up a role and then send them an invite and get them in. And if I want to kick them out, I already know how to do all of that. So yes, if you're good with Notion, with Google Keep, OneNote, and whatever other app, then that's good. That's great for you. If you're struggling with those and you never open them, but you're on Discord every day, all day, consider it. Check out the link in the description, and on the top comment, I'll put the template. All you have to do is click on it and it will create a new server based on the categories, the channels. It will not put the bots in there for you. You have to go seek out the bots for you. And in order to customize it, just right click on each channel and then change the name if you have to. That's it. Anyways, I appreciate you for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like this video. Let me know what else you want to know about when it comes to Discord or anything else.